Good day, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of risk in the future. Trade in all our videos for educational purpose only. You're very welcome to follow any of our automated signal as long as you are on SIM. We're not responsible for your trade. We just have an important data come out, and actually, you don't have any trades on the ES or Nasdaq at this moment. The bar are extremely big, and there is no trend. We just had the data released, so we need to wait 1 minute for the market to settle down. We had a sell signal on the 6E. At the moment, I would not advise you to turn on any kind of auto trade or take a manual trade at this moment. The market has no direction. It's always like this. I mean, now we are at the end of the summer and the market should start kicking in, and at the moment you don't have any direction in the market, so you have to be very careful which direction you're taking your trade. We're gonna wait a minute to make sure the market. We were already on short on the Nasdaq. Let me remind you, when we broadcast on a YouTube, is the delay. There are a few millisecond delay, and it's not coming from us. It's coming from the third company and a YouTube to broadcast. There is around 10 to 15 millisecond delay. So sometimes you might see the number delay, but it's not delay from my side. It's a delay from the broadcast. Usually those few millisecond, I cannot do anything about. There is no other system is gonna give 100%, so there is always a little delay, a few milliseconds between your charts and my charts, and nothing we can do to prevent that. Maybe later on we can have people log in to the webinar so they can have a real-time data. But at this moment, I don't want to start this, but I try to give you in advance what's going on in the market, so you will be ready to approach the market. I always try to give advance minutes before things happen, so hopefully that will be a little comfort with that. At this moment, the Nasdaq is on a full throttle short. Once we cross this double resistance, as you see from the white chart, there is a profit taken. You can add it on your chart, 23,399. This is an institutional number. On the ES, if we are crossing the 64.61, there is a good potential. But at this moment, the ES is not a strong short, so hopefully we get a strong short. So the only strong short we have is the Nasdaq, which brings a little volatility between Nasdaq and ES. If we look at the market analyzer, we have a buy signal on the ES and a sell signal on the Nasdaq. This confliction can make a little turbulence in your trade. So try to be consistent and be careful when the ES and Nasdaq are not in sequence. And now we got the second signal on the short for the Nasdaq, and we still have 3 positive on the ES. That is a confusion, and that can cause a lot of trouble. But we can look at the market. We can say the sellers over the buyers with the market analyzer. Now we have a sell order on the ES. We have a sell order on the ES. The market analyzer generate a trade. There are 5 auto trades on the market analyzer. So right now there are a little seller you can see is blinking, and we will see if we are breaking this yellow line here, 64.61. Absolutely, we're going to the 64.56. So keep your eye on that yellow line, and it seems like we're going to cross it, and that is gonna activate the Nasdaq to go further down. So here is the signal from the market analyzer. Just took the short trade on the ES, and the institutional target is 6449. I'll leave it as is at this moment. This auto trade calculate the target. The target calculated on this auto trade is 6450.75, but I dragged it to the institutional 6449, and we put it at 69 right there. Here's the institutional. For the Nasdaq is 23. So we will leave it as where it is right now for the Nasdaq. The second target on the Nasdaq is 23,366, and this is the morning target, 23,367. Here it is. Those are the morning targets. We set it up, and there is a new signal on the YM. Sell is getting in sequence, the ES, Nasdaq, and YM, and it's gonna go much farther down. Here it is. Now broke those levels. The Nasdaq is testing those double support, trying to penetrate those double resistance, the support, and if we break him, we will be hitting target 1 and 2. Simple. The re-entry point on the Nasdaq, it is 23,473 as a short trade. Short trade from the re-entry, 23,473. So let's see if this Nasdaq able to break those double support. The ES, as we said, is coming on the first bridge, 6455. This is the first support, and then after that we have the institutional target, 6449. So let's see. Very interesting. Not much going on. The ES is going down. The Nasdaq now is gonna be a re-entry point where we mentioned from that area here, 23,470. If you move the stop loss, the auto trade will readjust your stop loss and trailing stop. There is no long on the ES. There is no long on the ES. Be careful. Here exactly the re-entry point we mentioned as a pullback re-entry on the Nasdaq. The ES, there is no long trade, it's only pullback re-entry. We have the stop loss very tight. Hopefully we will not be knocked out of it. If you are out of the ES, you can put the trade, short trade, right below the 64, 62, like 64, 61 short. You can do that if you want to. Beautiful, nice short. We're coming to target 1 on the Nasdaq once we cross the support, which we are going to break that support, and we are going to hit institutional number. The system calculated to take a profit on the market analyzer at 23,413. It says in here on the Nasdaq, right there on the blue, you can see it's estimating where is the target and a plot, and it came into the tick, but maybe we can increase it to the target too. We'll see if we are able to go further down, which I think we are going to go further down. the Nasdaq we can break even and let the auto trade readjust the trailing stop. We need to cross the 64.55, a little pullback, reconfirm the resistance now, 6461. Let's see what happened. And the Nasdaq is coming directly to the target one institutional number, profit taking. We stopped out on the ES. The re-entry on the Nasdaq is right there, 23,461. There is no long on the ES. There is no long on the ES. Be careful. Pullback re-entry, there is no long on the ES. The ES is a big trouble right now. You should not be trading it. Or auto trade, it doesn't matter. They're all the same. When you cannot do manual trade on it, that means there is no auto trade is going to survive this chop place on the ES. It's not going to auto trade help you build out of the problem where the ES at this moment. So don't think you are auto trading. Doesn't matter where that auto trade. You're going to get away with it. You're not. Once the market enter a bunch of lines like this, those are the places where you're not allowed to trade. The question is, how can you trade between those lines? You cannot trade between those lines. Those lines, when they come closer, means stay out. Simple. If you notice, it's really sprayed out the lines on the Nasdaq much more than the ES, so there is much better movement on the Nasdaq than ES. So be careful. It is. The Nasdaq is going back down. is no long trade on the Nasdaq. Be careful. No long trade on the Nasdaq. ES, no trade, zero. There is no long trade, there is no short trade on the ES. Out. If you are auto trading ES, stop it. ES has no direction. Sadly, the market sometimes allow you to make money and sometimes don't. It is blocking. It's not allowing you to make money. Don't go for a long on the Nasdaq. Wait. Don't. On the ES, we have to cross the 6473 before you can even go long on the ES. And as you notice, the Nasdaq fallen back. There is no trade on the Nasdaq either now. We are in the middle of this turbulence here between a support and a resistance. There is no trade on the Nasdaq anymore. I'm sorry, but the market is not pretty picture today. It's been like this for over a week now. Very soon we're gonna have a buy signal on the CL, and the CL is clear above 63.38. You can go long on the CL, and it's much better than the ES and Nasdaq. As you see, the ES went down. That's why we said you should be wait until across that line, and there is no trade. This is a very big bar to auto trade with because you stop lost. So the only option we have is a buy order on the, we're not your financial advisor, but there is much better chances with the CL than to take a trade on the Nasdaq and ES. Very tough day today. Still don't have a trade on the Nasdaq. Be careful, please. We finally got out of the trouble, and we have a long on the Nasdaq and ES, and you have a signal buy in the same time. So there is a long trade on the Nasdaq and an ES as well. Okay, that's all what we managed is coming up again, and the YM, the Nasdaq, and the ES, they still going. The ES will be around 64.83. The Nasdaq, it will be 23,585. So there is not much going on in the market today. So we wish you the best. Bye for now.